Do you ever wonder why your legs feel less strong even though you eat nutritious foods and stay active? You make an effort to move daily and follow health advice. Yet why do stairs feel harder now? Why is getting out of a chair a bigger struggle? Is this simply part of getting older? Or could something else be quietly diminishing your leg vitality? What you're about to learn might astonish you. For years, we've been told fruit is healthy, great for your heart, immune system, and a balanced diet. But here's a point seldom discussed. Not all fruits serve older bodies equally well. Some varieties, despite tasting sweet, being juicy, and seeming perfectly harmless, could in fact be gradually reducing the power in your legs, little by little. According to research, metabolic and circulatory shifts linked to aging make individuals over 60 more reactive to the sugars, acids, and specific compounds within foods. This means fruits you enjoyed in your youth might now be contributing to physical issues, potentially harming your circulation, muscles, and joints. What's particularly worrying is you might be eating these fruits regularly, completely unaware of the potential harm. But don't worry, in this video, I'll help you pinpoint the problem. Before significant damage occurs, we'll examine the 5 top fruits individuals over 60 should avoid to preserve their leg power, steadiness, and range of motion. Pay special attention to fruit number 5. It might genuinely shock you, as it's a fruit almost universally considered healthy and enjoyable. And I won't just tell you what to skip. I'll also suggest superior choices. Fruits that can help lessen inflammation, boost blood flow, soothe joint pain, and even aid in rebuilding muscle tissue. If you've ever felt unexplained leg numbness at night, muscle tightness without cause, or just noticed you're not as quick or sure-footed as before, this video is crucial viewing you can't afford to skip. Reversing muscle decline is achievable, and I'll give you the insights needed right now. Please stay with me right through to the conclusion, as the knowledge you gain today could mark the start of reclaiming your effortless mobility with every stride. 1. Pineapple. This fruit, long celebrated for its anti-inflammatory qualities, thanks to the well-known compound bromelain, with its sweet flavor, refreshing scent, and bright yellow color, has been praised for its anti-inflammatory effects over time. However, here's a fact few people recognize. Pineapple can actually have the opposite impact on elderly individuals, particularly when consumed frequently. As we begin, I truly value knowing where you're joining from today. Leave a note below, and if questions arise, please feel free to ask them. Also, be sure to click the subscribe button and set your notifications so you never miss out on Senior Health's most helpful wellness advice. And if you're tuned in right now, I want to feel that you're in agreement. Drop a 1 in the comments if this video resonates with you. Just 100 grams of fresh pineapple contains approximately 10 grams of sugar and a considerable amount of natural acids. If this isn't the case, they're categorized as type 0. Biologically speaking, the sugar in pineapples causes a swift spike in blood glucose levels. This sudden rise can harm the tiny blood vessels that supply the legs and feet, especially in older individuals, particularly those with sluggish circulation or existing vascular concerns. The outcome? Blood cannot deliver sufficient oxygen and nutrients to the leg muscles. This causes discomfort while walking, along with swelling and a dull ache in the thighs after sitting for extended periods or even a brief walk. Poor circulation and blood vessel lining inflammation are early indicators of these issues. But there's more. Pineapple also contains citric acid and bromelain, which can irritate joint tissues, particularly when the body is already dealing with chronic inflammation. For elderly individuals with a history of joint discomfort, pineapple might feel like adding fuel to the fire. It can heighten sensitivity and lead to a heavy, sluggish sensation in the legs when walking or moving. Furthermore, a study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition emphasized that individuals over 60, especially those with impaired digestion and delicate capillaries, are more vulnerable to the negative effects of foods rich in acid. If you have these conditions, eating pineapple often can worsen inflammation, not immediately but gradually over days. Additionally, exercise extra caution if you're taking blood-thinning medications. Bromelain and pineapple can interact with these drugs, potentially increasing the risk of bleeding or reducing their effectiveness. The fact that pineapple, despite being lauded as an anti-inflammatory marvel, can pose a health risk for persons over 60 on prescription drugs is a primary reason why it's considered so. So, if you've ever felt your legs become heavier after eating pineapple or experienced a dull, swollen pain in your knees and ankles, it might be time to rethink including pineapple in your daily meals. While you don't need to eliminate it entirely, try to decrease how often you eat it and swap it for less inflammatory, gentler fruits like blueberries or papaya. This could help prevent your legs from slowly losing strength. 2. A familiar fruit that may not be the wisest option for aging legs. Bananas have long been recognized as a nutritious food. They are often praised as an excellent source of potassium and energy, supporting muscle function. Yet, contrary to what we've always believed, bananas aren't universally the best choice for seniors. 100 grams of ripe bananas holds about 12 grams of natural sugar and around 23 grams of carbohydrates, most of which are absorbed very rapidly by the body. Thus, consuming a banana can cause blood sugar levels to surge quickly. In younger individuals, insulin can manage this efficiently. But in those over 60, where insulin activity has declined, blood sugar is more prone to becoming unstable, significantly affecting blood circulation, particularly in the lower limbs. Many older people might feel a sense of heaviness in their legs after eating a banana, sometimes followed by a mild discomfort in the knee joints or tired calf muscles, especially during simple activities like walking or climbing stairs. This isn't just a feeling of fullness, it indicates that the elevated blood sugar is impacting small blood vessels and muscle tissues. Furthermore, bananas tend to cause water retention within the body. Daily consumption of bananas can lead to swelling in the legs, slight puffiness around the ankles, and a stiff feeling in the legs when standing for prolonged periods, especially in individuals with heart conditions or those taking diuretic medications. According to research by Tufts University, consuming quickly absorbed carbohydrates is linked to reduced blood flow to the limbs in older adults, leading to decreased muscle strength and a higher chance of falling. The danger with bananas is that the effects aren't immediate but build up gradually over time. This makes it harder for people to realize this seemingly safe fruit might be subtly weakening their legs. You might consider making some dietary adjustments if you still enjoy bananas and don't wish to cut them out entirely. Consume a small portion, is like half a banana at a time. To slow down how quickly your body absorbs sugar, pair the banana with some healthy fats, such as a few walnuts, natural peanut butter, or a slice of cheese. Absolutely avoid eating bananas on an empty stomach, as this will cause a more significant blood sugar spike and negatively impact leg circulation. Eating bananas isn't inherently bad. Nevertheless, older adults should consume them responsibly and appropriately. You might consider substituting bananas with other fruits that are lower in sugar and anti-inflammatory, such as papaya or berries. If you're seeking a fruit that's not only nutrient-rich, but also better for the health of your muscles, bones, and circulatory system. 3. Grapes are tiny fruits with considerable effects on circulation and joints. Grapes are a favored fruit because they taste sweet, are easy to eat, and have a light, crisp texture. Grapes, with their small, juicy clusters, are viewed by many as the perfect snack, especially for those aiming to boost their antioxidant intake. However, grapes may have understated yet significant impacts on leg health, particularly the joints and circulatory system, for people over the age of 60. Fruits like grapes have a high concentration of fructose, a natural sugar quickly processed by the liver. When consumed in large amounts, the liver cannot handle it all at once and begins converting the surplus into fat and uric acid. This uric acid becomes a notable risk factor for crystal formation in joints, particularly in smaller areas like knees, ankles, and toes. This is known to contribute to gout and persistent joint pain not related to injury. If you've ever experienced sudden, sharp pain in your big toe overnight, calf tightness, or a dull ache in your knees without any obvious trauma, these symptoms could be due to elevated uric acid levels in your body, potentially caused by a diet high in fructose, especially from fruits like grapes. Another factor contributing to chronic inflammation in the body is fructose. These inflammatory responses accumulate over time with regular grape consumption, harming the connective tissues around your joints and limiting your ability to move freely. Grapes are particularly risky because it's so easy to eat too many. They are small, tender, and delicious, and they don't make you feel full quickly. You could easily eat 2 or 3 small cups in a short time without realizing you've consumed a large quantity of sugar. According to findings from a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older individuals who regularly eat fruits rich in fructose, such as grapes, face a higher risk of developing joint problems, soft tissue inflammation, and difficulty moving. On the other hand, fruits lower in sugar and rich in anti-inflammatory compounds, such as cherries and berries, have shown clear benefits for reducing arthritis symptoms and improving circulation. If you enjoy the naturally sweet and refreshing taste of grapes, there's no need to avoid them completely. Nonetheless, consume them mindfully. Reduce the quantity you eat. Try not to eat grapes daily, and don't use them as a replacement for a substantial snack. Blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries are examples of fruits with less sweetness, higher fiber content, and stronger anti-inflammatory properties. Other good choices are strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. 4. Watermelon, sometimes called the sweet hydration trap, has long been linked with summer, freshness, and quickly restoring the body's water balance. Because it's over 90% water, many people believe it's the perfect fruit to refresh and maintain youthful skin. Yet few realize that watermelon, despite its juicy appearance, can actually be a delightful trap that leads your legs to feel tired, sore, and gradually weaker over time. This is especially true for individuals over the age of 60. Watermelon has a relatively high glycemic index, GI, typically ranging from 76 to 80, despite having a very modest calorie count. When you eat watermelon, your blood sugar level will rise quickly and significantly, similar to what happens when you consume candy. In children and adolescents, insulin can effectively manage this surge. However, every rapid rise in blood sugar contributes to damage in the small blood vessels, particularly in the legs and feet, which is especially problematic for older people whose ability to regulate blood sugar has also declined. Do you ever find your legs feel weary after a light meal that included a few slices of watermelon? Did you notice minor swelling in your ankles and tightness in your knees when you stood up after eating watermelon in the evening? It's not mere coincidence. The blood sugar spike increases inflammation in areas with poor circulation, specifically the calves, knees, and ankles. A quiet inflammation harms the capillary system and directly affects blood flow to muscle tissues when blood sugar levels fluctuate significantly. Another issue with eating watermelon is that it doesn't make you feel full. This makes it easy to consume excessive amounts. One thin slice leads to another, and before you know it, you've had 2 or 3 slices without realizing you've consumed a significant amount of sugar at that point. The total sugar might equal that of a full can of soda. Furthermore, when watermelon is eaten after a meal, particularly combined with starchy foods, its sugar content causes insulin levels to rise even further. This results in undesirable effects like inflammation, dull joint soreness, heaviness when walking, and quick fatigue when climbing stairs. Additionally, a report published by the American Clinical Nutrition Institute warned that regular consumption of foods with a high glycemic index is a primary contributor to decreased insulin sensitivity, constriction of peripheral blood vessels, and a higher likelihood of experiencing leg cramps during the night in older individuals. Because of this, watermelon, though it seems light and harmless, can unknowingly contribute to the gradual weakening of your legs over time. While this doesn't mean you must completely eliminate watermelon from your diet, it suggests consuming it mindfully. Eat a modest piece after a full meal, and under no circumstances consume it on an empty stomach. Make sure you don't substitute watermelon for water, especially if you already experience leg fatigue, joint discomfort, or numbness during the night. Consider eating ripe papaya or pear if you're looking for a fruit that's both refreshing and easier on your blood sugar levels. These are less severe and less likely to cause inflammatory responses. 5. Orange, a subtle assault from natural tartness. Oranges symbolize wellness, immunity, and a sense of freshness. They are commonly found at breakfast tables, either as a glass of orange juice in the morning or as tasty slices in a fruit salad. However, oranges aren't always a safe option for older adults due to aging's effects on legs and joints. Besides their tangy sweetness and high vitamin C content, there's a feature often overlooked that significantly impacts bone, joint, and circulatory health: citric acid. Citric acid is the natural element responsible for the sour taste in oranges. This acid is something your stomach and digestive system handle effectively when you're young. On the other hand, after age 60, the stomach lining becomes more sensitive, and citric acid can start causing irritation. This affects not only the stomach, but also has implications for the bloodstream and soft tissues. When this acid enters the bloodstream, it can increase the sensitivity of joint tissues, particularly in individuals already experiencing joint deterioration or suffering from arthritis. As a result, you might experience discomfort in your knees when you wake up, discomfort in your thighs when you walk, or severe pain in your hips after sitting for extended periods. Orange juice has approximately 9 grams of natural sugar per 100 milliliter, making it one of the fruits with the highest natural sugar content in this form. When sugar is combined with citric acid, it causes a quick dip in blood glucose levels, followed by a rapid increase. This creates ideal conditions for inflammation in older persons, which in turn reduces blood flow to the legs and compromises the circulatory system's function. These tiny changes could be the cause of the aches and stiffness you feel in your legs when walking or cramps that occur at night. According to findings from a study conducted by the American Clinical Nutrition Institute, older persons who regularly consume acidic foods are at an increased risk of developing connective tissue inflammation around their joints and having decreased bone density. Those with a history of osteoporosis, sciatica, or weak hip joints should be especially concerned about this. Indeed, drinking orange juice first thing in the morning for years could be one of the hidden, unrecognized reasons behind reduced mobility. How can you still gain benefits from oranges without harming your legs? First, avoid boxed or canned orange juice, as it often contains extra sugar and preservatives that worsen inflammation. Second, if you choose to eat oranges, consume them only in the morning after a meal and eat them as whole slices. Orange juice should never be consumed by anyone on an empty stomach or right before bed. It might be time to consider switching to more alkaline fruits like pears or ripe papaya if you are already experiencing unexplained leg pain or stiffness in your knees each morning. Please pause for a moment to reflect. Your legs have taken you on countless journeys throughout your life, from those very first steps to joyful afternoons playing with companions, and through moments where you stood resilient facing life's toughest challenges. Yet sometimes even a brief staircase leaves you breathless. Even a short walk can make your legs feel heavy, tired, and even painful. Most of the time, we attribute this simply to aging. However, as you've learned, growing older isn't the sole cause of every issue. Certain seemingly safe actions, even those considered beneficial, are gradually weakening your legs over time. The 5 fruits you've just heard about are very common, and it's possible you've been eating them weekly without knowing their impact on your circulation, joints, and muscles. The good news is this: there is still opportunity to make changes. Your body still possesses the ability to heal if you provide it with the right support. And this doesn't require dramatic or harsh overhauls. Start with gentle steps, such as choosing a healthier snack or a more moderate option during mealtimes. Just by doing that, you can begin the path toward regaining strength in your legs. If you're seeking an afternoon snack, try munching on some blueberries instead of watermelon. If you want to avoid eating a banana after breakfast, try a piece of papaya instead. It's soft and easy. The changes might seem quite small. However, if you remain consistent, they hold the potential to make a significant impact. You will feel a lighter, stronger, and more flexible sensation in your legs. Getting out of a chair will no longer feel like a difficult task. Every step you take will make you feel more secure and confident. Not only that, but you will begin to rediscover the freedom that comes with each movement. Reaching this point demonstrates to me that you are genuinely invested in your own wellness. And I want you to know this: you are not alone. It's estimated that millions of individuals of a similar age are searching for the very same insights you are. Please tell me one thing you discovered today. And if there's even a single small modification you are willing to make, note it down. I'm always here to listen to your journey toward improved health. I pray you are blessed with good health, tranquility, and the power to reclaim control over the situation you are facing. I anticipate catching up with you in forthcoming videos. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you found today's message valuable. This ensures you won't miss any future content. Are any of the fruits listed here something you consume regularly? Share your thoughts with me by leaving a remark below. Together, we will continue on the path of reestablishing power in your legs, beginning with the simple decisions you bring to the table daily.